Hello viewers, Bullseye Movies predicts the future of Georgie and Mandy's first marriage, which requires looking beyond the immediate conflicts of diapers, money, and domestic compromise, and instead tracing the long emotional arc that the young Sheldon universe has been quietly building for years. This is not simply a sitcom about a young couple who got married too fast. It is a slow-burn character study about timing, identity, and the uncomfortable truth that love alone does not guarantee longevity. Season 3 will not exist in a vacuum. It arrives carrying the weight of young Sheldon, the shadow of the Big Bang Theory, and the audience's growing awareness that this marriage, despite its warmth and humor, has an expiration date written into canon. The challenge for the show, and the opportunity, is not whether Georgie and Mandy will eventually part ways, but how they get there, why it happens, and what it reveals about who they become afterward. What follows is a grounded prediction of the most likely upcoming events in Season 3, based on character behavior, thematic momentum, and established franchise logic. One of the most significant upcoming developments in Season 3 will be the false sense of stability that settles over Georgie and Mandy's marriage. At the start of the season, everything will appear functional, maybe even optimistic. The couple will be operating as a unit, raising CC, balancing work, managing family obligations, and presenting a united front. On the surface, this will look like growth. In reality, it will be avoidance. Georgie will believe that as long as he keeps providing, fixing problems, and doing the right thing, the marriage will hold. Mandy will interpret the same routine as emotional stagnation. They won't be fighting constantly. Instead, they will be quietly misaligned, which is far more dangerous. This illusion of stability will be the emotional backdrop for the season's most consequential events. The disagreement over having more children is not an isolated issue. It is the clearest symptom of a deeper philosophical divide that Season 3 will bring to the forefront. Mandy's career ambitions are not a subplot anymore. They are her identity reasserting itself. Season 3 will likely introduce a new professional opportunity that requires travel or relocation, increased recognition in her field, boosting her confidence, a growing resentment toward the limitations of staying in Medford. This won't be framed as selfishness. It will be framed as self-preservation. Mandy will increasingly feel that she compromised too early, too completely. Her hesitation about more children won't come from fear of motherhood, it will come from fear of disappearing. Georgie, meanwhile, will double down on the idea that family equals success. For him, stability means kids close in age, everyone under one roof, staying near Mary, Missy, and Meemaw, building something tangible and local. Season 3 will show Georgie equating Mandy's ambition with rejection, not just of him, but of the life he's trying to build. This difference will not explode all at once. Instead, it will surface through passive-aggressive jokes, avoided conversations. We'll talk about it later, deferrals. Moments where one partner celebrates something the other barely acknowledges. The upcoming event here is not a single argument. It's the realization that they are solving different problems. Season 3 will also revisit one of the most destabilizing truths of their relationship. The foundation was built on withheld honesty. Georgie's age lie, even though technically resolved, will re-emerge emotionally, not as a plot twist, but as a lingering wound. Mandy will begin to question whether she truly knew Georgie when she married him, whether she chose the life she's in, or simply adapted to it, whether doing the right thing was the same as making the right choice. This will likely surface during a moment when Mandy is faced with a major decision, one that requires trust in Georgie's long-term vision. Meanwhile, Georgie will struggle with guilt he never fully processed. He will internalize Mandy's distance as punishment rather than communication, which will push him further into defensive pragmatism. The upcoming event here is subtle but crucial, a conversation that doesn't turn into a fight, but also doesn't bring relief. That kind of conversation is often the beginning of emotional separation. Season 3 will also explore the uncomfortable reality that parenthood doesn't always unite couples. It sometimes clarifies incompatibility. Both Georgie and Mandy love CC deeply. That will never be in question. But how they interpret parenthood will begin to diverge. Georgie will see CC as the reason to expand the family. Mandy will see CC as the reason to pause, reflect, and protect her autonomy. This difference will manifest in how they plan schedules, who sacrifices time and opportunities, what kind of future they imagine for their daughter. A key predicted event is Mandy beginning to assert boundaries around motherhood, refusing to let it fully define her, while Georgie interprets this as emotional withdrawal. Neither will be wrong, but they will be incompatible in that moment. Season 3 will also deepen the role of extended family, not as villains, but as unintentional accelerants of conflict. Mary will likely continue to support Georgie emotionally, reinforcing his belief that perseverance is the answer. Meemaw, on the other hand, may quietly side with Mandy in subtle ways, recognizing ambition when she sees it. These differing influences will validate each partner's perspective, also prevent them from fully hearing each other. The upcoming event here is not confrontation, but reinforcement of separate emotional camps. One of the most important upcoming developments in Season 3 will be the show beginning, very gently, to align with the Big Bang Theory canon. This will not happen through explicit references or dramatic foreshadowing. Instead, it will happen through emotional drift. Fewer shared dreams. More individual planning. Increased independence disguised as maturity. Georgie will begin to envision himself as a single parent without realizing it. Mandy will begin to imagine a future where she is defined by her choices rather than her compromises. The marriage will not collapse suddenly. It will loosen. If Season 3 has one defining predicted event, it is this. Georgie and Mandy will each take a step toward their preferred future, independently, without fully consulting the other. This could look like Mandy accepting a career opportunity just to see what happens. Georgie making a long-term family decision, assuming Mandy will adjust. Neither choice will be malicious. Both will be understandable. And together, they will quietly confirm what the season has been building toward. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share and comment for more recaps on Bullseye movies.